Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, well, this literally doesn't work. Man, it's another Monday. Let's get open for business. And it's don't sleep on your Dallas Cowboys because you literally cannot sleep on the Cowboys because things happen late in the evening, late at night, first thing in the morning. So you want to be up to speed on everything that is the Dallas Cowboys. Unfortunately, during this 5 week period of time where we are worried about our players, hoping that nobody gets hurt, that nobody slices their hand with a bagel or slips grabbing their cell phone around the pool, or gets into legal trouble. We've got one more week and 2 days left to worry. And we only have 55 days, 8 hours, 12 minutes, and 37 seconds until the kickoff of the 2018 season. And man, I'm excited as can be. I cannot wait to get in here in the mornings and talk about practice from the day before, and even better, about games. Oh man, I'm happy. I'm excited. Now today is July 16th. Whew. Wow, I can't believe it's already July. And today's important because at 4 o'clock Eastern, if teams do not have a long-term deal worked out for the players, then they have to stick with that franchise tag. And barring some kind of miracle, because both sides are so far apart, there won't be one for Demarcus Lawrence. So, with that being said, he's going to be paying on that franchise tag of $17.1 million. And technically, the end of this season, he is a free agent and can walk. But they can tag him again with roughly a $20 million number. Now, what you're probably seeing is today, there may not be any long-term deals made for any of these franchise tag players, with the exception of maybe, just maybe, Le'Veon Bell. And I think teams are hesitant about backing up the Brinks truck for players now. More times than not, you don't see these big contracts and big numbers leading to Super Bowls. And that's where I think teams are kind of saying, you know what, maybe we're okay with paying that franchise tag. Kirk Cousins kind of changed the whole narrative on that. Because here's what you look at. The Cowboys could get a long-term deal done, probably be in the range of about $90 million. And it might behoove them to do it now because of, Aaron Donald hasn't got his number and Khalil Mack hasn't gotten his. So the number may go way through the roof. But you're looking at $50-60 million probably guaranteed. And it's not the final number you look at. You look at that guaranteed money. So if you're talking about $60 million guaranteed, if this year happened to be just a flash in the pan, then you're on the chain for all that other money that's guaranteed. So the Cowboys could, in essence, go through and say, we'll tag him this year, we'll tag him next year, and we'll end up paying him about $38 million. However, if it ends up being that we just got him for 2 years, we only paid him $38 million, as opposed to maybe 60 or more. So that's where you're looking at with teams being a little bit more hesitant on the franchise tag. I think that whole situation is evolving and changing because players used to be pissed off if they were franchise tag because they wanted the security of a long-term deal. But Kirk Cousins kind of said, I want to have freedom of choice of where I can play. And so he gambled on himself, and he definitely won. Now, we'll see if it pays off with the Minnesota Vikings. Now he's definitely got to put up or else. And in other news, before I get to that, tonight, the live stream's probably going to be late. I have a special event I have to go to tonight, and don't want to give details on that. I'm going to see how it goes, and maybe we'll have some clips and stuff from it. It'll be something actually something pretty big. But unfortunately, I got to do one of those things that I absolutely, positively hate to do, and that's wear a suit. Oh, God, I hate wearing suits. I've told my wife, and I hope she listens to me, that when I die, do not bury me in a suit. I hate wearing a suit. I don't want to wear a suit, and I'll be damned if I want to wear one for all eternity. Bury me in a woodboard t-shirt with a little bit of paint on it and some jeans, and I will be happy. If you don't, I will, Tracy, come back and haunt you every day. Ooh, I hate suits. Yeah. Okay, back to my Cowboys. My quarterback, my teammate. Pro Football Focus did another analysis, which they always do analysis on everything. And they were talking about the most consistent quarterbacks in the NFL last season. And Dak ended up being third least consistent. In fact, the only two quarterbacks behind him were Derek Carr and Cam Newton. In some respects, you can say, yeah, well, that makes sense. You had Zeke Elliott not quite there even when he was there, and then not there because he wasn't there. You had Tyron Smith, you had the Chaz Green and the 9 sacks, you had the hurt hand. So it definitely was a roller coaster ride where the peak of the roller coaster was until the Atlanta Falcon game. And I'm not going to put it all on those other reasons. Dak has to get better with his footwork, his mechanics, his timing, and reading on defenses, as well as everybody else out there. We're going to need him to be consistent. Now, a lot of people say, well, you got a great running game, so you're fine. Well, here is the perception versus reality. There's been a lot of teams with great running attacks that have never busted a grape. Take a look at Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions had best running attack with Barry Sanders forever. Yet, they ended up losing seasons more times than not. Take a look at Minnesota Vikings with Adrian Peterson. Can't say that that wasn't a hell of a running attack. So clearly, they didn't win any rings with AP rushing for 2,000 yards. We had in 2015 a great running attack. Believe it or not, we were fourth in the NFL with rushing. Yet without Tony Romo, we won one game. So clearly, you do have to do more than just show up. You still have to be able to buy time, be able to hit the open man and things like that. It's not, oh, you got a great running attack, so you're going to be fine. No. Brandon Weeden and Matt Castle proved that one. But the Cowboys themselves are going to have to also get better to help make him more consistent. They have to start looking at Dak Prescott's strengths and focusing more on those. The offense was still basically back in the 90s and still built for like Tony Romo was there. Tony Romo, great quarterback, different type of quarterback than Dak Prescott. If you look at Dak Prescott's touchdowns, you'll see Dak Prescott moves great in the pocket, rolling out and hitting a man on the run. You need to do more rollouts. You need to do more run-pass options, forcing the team to have the defense to have to make a choice. Do I go for the quarterback or do I cover the wide receiver? Doing things like that will help to make him more consistent and help your offense be a little less predictable. Because let's face it, guys, last year our offense was completely predictable. One other note here has nothing to do with the Cowboys, but kind of everything to do with the Cowboys, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, God. Nick Foles, doing an interview, said it was difficult watching all these quarterbacks get all these mega deals and him not. And you got to think, in his mind, he's looking around and seeing a Sam Bradford get $20 million who can't stay upright, and so on. And here it is. He's done something that 51 other Philadelphia Eagles teams could not do. And that's win a Super Bowl. I mean, we're talking about Randall Cunningham. We're talking about some of the great Eagle teams, with Ron Jaworski, that couldn't win the big one. Yet here he is, Super Bowl champion, and he's on the bench. And you got to think, he's saying the right things, but it's still going to be in the back of his mind about being that Super Bowl champion. I'm not saying that he's going to cause any rifts, but like our 80% Cowboy fans that are ready to mud and tar somebody after a bad game, if Carson Wentz comes out there a little too soon, not quite ready to play, or has a bad game, you know those fans are going to be looking and saying, we got a Super Bowl MVP on the bench. Why are we got this bum out here now on one leg? You know, if Carson Wentz struggles, that Nick Foles in the back of his mind is going to be thinking, why am I not out there? Didn't I just win this one for you guys? I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but that's how quarterback controversies do happen. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out, guys. But just saying, just saying. Last sidebar. We got the lamp put on here. We have the new wizard and things. It may be a little bit cluttered, so I want your thoughts and comments on what should stay and what should go. And I know you trolls, I know you guys, you're going to say Mark Holmes needs to go. Yeah, okay. If this is too much or too little, and if it is too much, what should stay and what should go? Of course, I got to tell you, I love the lamp. The lamp is a classic. The clock right here, back from, copyrighted from '83. It was my dad's. Still, listen to this. Runs by a 9-volt battery. It's still ticking. Listen to that. That's definitely got to stay. Of course, Joe Boo got to stay. Cole Beasley's hot sauce, and of course our crystal ball. So let me know if it's too much, and if it is, what needs to go. But as always, friends, I will see you guys soon with any updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Make it a great Monday, and hopefully everything stays good with our Dallas Cowboys. I'll see you soon.